Today, 29th of December 2016, this would be my last vlog of the year. I would like to do a vlog about how to be number one in a million person. This topic has been in my mind since I was young, and I think I want to decode how a person can be successful, and I think I want to reveal the secret to get today in my vlog. The first thing is, have you ever asked the question that I think a lot of people ask about the work-life balance? I think the key secret in work-life balance is not to earn less and actually be lazy around. But I think the secret of having the good work-life balance is for you to earn more. Mean that don't forget that earn more mean that you have a chance to actually spend time with a better quality, and in order for you to earn more, you need to learn more. But what is really earn more is about, I think the essence of earn more is have a key secret lie in the keyword called PPT. PPT mean productivity per time, or what we call in most common term pay per time or pay per hours type. Why pay per hours is so important? I think let me get the statistic for all of you. Give you the example of generally, if you are the person that actually working in Denmark or Sweden, you can see that they on average they are working 8 hours in a day, and they're working 4 days a week. So on average, if you calculate that they're working per week is equal to 8 multiplied by 4 multiplied by 50 weeks that they work. So they will work 1,600 hours per year, and that's in a very good work-life balance country. And on average of the country, people are working 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. You will work 2,000 hours a year. That's actually average for most of the country. And for the person who actually working in Japan, on average people working 10 hours a day, and you're working 6 days a week. So Japanese people will work around 3,000 hours per year. And we knowing that Japanese people actually have one of the poorest quality and work-life balance. And I was grow up in the small SME where my parent is actually working 7 days a week, and each day they are working 12 hours a day. So I think the whole daytime activities they actually related to work. So they will work 4,200 hours per year, which actually pretty much common. I just got a friend that one friend actually come from Australia. They also share that they're actually working 12 hours a day, and they're working 7 days a week. So they will fall under 4,200 hours per year type. So it's not about only working time, because time is the most treasured thing in a human life. When you actually need to work 4,000 hours, mean that you will need to sacrifice your family times, you need to sacrifice the time to rest, and you need to sacrifice your health for the sake of doing work. So in order for us to understanding it deeper about PPT or the productivity per time or the pay per hours time, I have list up the left to right is the PPT or the career based pay per hours that I have studied, list from the left to the most right. So the most typical one is for example labor worker. In any country, maybe the standard of the basic labor worker will not be the same, but let's say the labor worker is equal to 1x type of salary. So the owner of the business normally will earn 2x type of pattern. So like my father, mother, they work longer hours multiplied by 2x. and the programmer is around 2.5x. I think we own CSoft actually working on the programming. So we knowing that those programmer that is not productive, they will need to work longer hours. And the third one is actually specialist. Specialists normally will earn around 3x to 5x, which actually the same range with manager. Manager is 3x to 5x. So we knowing that most of the people who actually success in the career will fall under 3x to 5x, no matter you are junior or senior, because mostly when your responsibility increase, you will need to work longer hours to actually accommodate with the pay that have increased. So there will be a big jump in the next one. It's called consultant. Consultant actually have around 50x of the labor worker type of base salary, and I think I have an experience firsthand because I'm working in a consulting industry, and I got around this type of pay. So I knowing that it's actually totally different pay from the labor worker in the market. It could range from 50x to 100x from the local labor worker, and it will be 100x for those superstar. So for example, you are the superstar for badminton player, so you earn around 100x more than the average labor worker. And if you're the superstar in terms of you are actor or actress, also you also will earn that much. Or you are become the famous superstar consultant, then you will earn like 100x of others people. And the last one is around 1000x and above, and there's no limit on this. It's the investor. So investor will earn much more than normal people, because investor actually have a totally different mechanism. They use money to earn money. So then you would doubt that what actually determine the PPT, how to increase the PPP. PPP mean that pay per hours, or when the pay per hours it increase, mean that we work less, also you actually still can earn more. So the key secret is work less but you still earn more. So for the PPP to increase, you can see that it's actually need to move from one on the left side to the right side. But what is the X factor that actually involved in terms of the increase of the PPT? What is actually the factor involved? So the answer is scarcity. I think in the economics 101 lesson that actually we learned in the university, we knowing that scarcity determine the value, and the scarcity or the market value determined by demand and supply. So to speak, in order for you to have the high value, either the demand is very high, the supply is low, then you will have a very high value, or the demand in the market is moderate or low, but you are the only one who can actually doing this. Like for example, the demand for some certain cancer is actually very low, but if you are the only one who have the medicine to cure it, then you get a good price out of it. And it's a value change, because I think in our life it's a pyramid. It's the same with the animal world, where you have a pyramid of the chain. Investor is the one that actually have more money, but they're the minority of the people, and it's stacked up. So when the whole pyramid grow, the investor or the person who on top will actually be able to earn more. When I was young, Pop and Mom store, the SME, we can see that they actually earn from the labor worker, because the labor worker actually is the base that actually supporting the SME. So when the labor worker have a better life, they're supporting the SME, and the SME is actually groomed. When the SME is groomed, the SME actually requiring a specialist to come and help to grow. So they actually employ specialists like programmer, accountant, And the accountant, when they actually more of these specialists, they need a company that actually manage, so the management level also grow. And when the management overall grow, there will be a specialization, like those people that actually entertain everyone to relax, like superstar, the sport athlete, all these type of people will actually also actually grow. So you can see the people like Warren Buffett and Bill Gates. Once they reach the top, they know what they need to do. So they need to actually grow the society. So they invest all their money on the poor people and education to make sure that the whole pyramid is growing. So themselves will benefit this out of this as well. So it's actually connected. So it's the same with the circle of life. And in Thailand, I think the circle is actually quite broken because rich people don't have the custom of actually support the poor in terms of education, in terms of building the society that much. And now we're gonna come back to answer how you could be the top of the top, or mean you can be one of the million people. So I will give you another statistic. They're saying how rare people is determine how much value you have in the market. Normally the specialist like the doctor, we knowing that the doctor is actually one of the most want to be type of career for the Thai student as well. One of the main reason why actually most people want to be is because of the high pay. So the doctor is actually the rareness is 1 out of the 10,000. In any country it's mostly the same. Out of 10,000 people there will be one doctor, and the doctor is being paid quite well. And the doctor on average will be paid around 20x of labor worker or 25x of labor worker. So because they are quite rare. And the Olympics medalists, from the statistic, they're saying that in a lifetime you can actually enter Olympic 3 times. And from the statistic and calculation, you are actually 1 out of a million people to be the Olympic medalists. So, and if you are be one of them, your compensation will be very high as well. And the I just give for one of the rarest one, like because the Nobel Prize just being announced. The Nobel Prize, possibility you get the Nobel Prize is 1 out of 10 million. So our 1 out of 10 million is something that very rare and very hard to achieve. So it's quite hard for normal people to be able to do this. So to be 1 out of a million or to be 1 out of 10 million people, I think for most people will think that it's quite hard to be able to achieve this. So but actually you would be able to be one. I want to give you the example my own experience. When I was 26 years old, I actually already earned 500k Thai baht, or 500,000 Thai baht per month. Actually that's actually equivalent to 25x of the compensation of my average peer with the same similar background, and is equal to 100x of the local labor worker. On that time I not quite understanding the mechanism why I actually earn 100x more than others people locally. And a lot of people may feel that it's unfair for someone to earn 100x more than others people. Maybe you feel that they're spending same number of hours, like 8 to 10 hours in workplace the same, why someone actually earn much more than others people. When I think about it, actually this is part of my philosophy in life, and I think this has become my factor to make myself one of out of a million person, is a multiple skill. So when I'm actually see back in my career, I was 26. I actually go to Malaysia with 3 key skills. The first thing is the business background. I actually focus myself to actually be better than people around me. Even though I'm actually quite young, I actually read a lot of retail books. And actually when I actually go to Just Go, I be able to contribute to the management right off. And actually because my background is actually in business, so I can actually add the value in terms of business consultant, and I actually work in the business consultant field before. So I'm sure that I'm actually be one of the very high 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 standard in terms of the business background. The second one is about IT. When I actually enter the, the, the industry, I'm actually focused on building IT know-how, and I actually be a system consultant, and I'm actually a system integrator. And the third factor is actually the related to the language. I actually be able to speak in 3 languages right off, and the main 2 key language that actually have the important value is Japanese and English. Actually we take when I want to leave my ex company that actually pay me 500,000 per month. We take 5 years to find a person who actually very good at IT, very good at business and management, and we're very good at the language, be able to speak English and be able to speak Japanese to the Japanese client. We took 5 years to find everywhere. Even the compensation is very high, we not be able to actually find one. And that's actually my lesson toward this. It come to my conclusion that very important here is actually in order for you to be a medalist, like Olympic medalist, and you start now, it is almost impossible for anyone to be one. Because it's 1 out of a million. It's the same possibility that you win the lottery, 1 out of a million. That's why it's very hard for anyone to be successful and earn 100x more than others per hours. So, but there's a very important key secret that you need to learn, and it can be your secret too, is you just determine 3 factors in your life that you will be 1 out of the 100. So for me, I'm not the best actually retail person, so but I actually definitely 1 out of 100 base knowledge on retail when come to the retail business, and I'm actually definitely 1 out of the 100 scarcity in terms of IT personality, and I'm definitely 1 of the 100 people who can speak English and Japanese. And when you multiply this, the formula is very simple. Your value equal your scarcity, and your scarcity equal to either x1, and x1 is equal 1 out of the 1 million, which is actually very hard, or it could be equal to x1 multiplied by x2 multiplied by x3, which is actually much more possible. So in my case, I actually developing x1 equal to retail and business know-how, x2 equal to IT. I'm definitely 1 out of the 100 people, and my x3 is equal to language. I'm definitely 1 out of 100%, and at the end your value is equal to 1 out of 1 out of 100 multiply 1 out of 100 multiply 1 out of 100 become 1 out of 1 million. So that's very important key point. So in the modern days, in order for you to developing a rare value, you need to positioning yourself in the industry that niche enough that you can creating x1, x2, x3, and be able to supplying something that build the value 1 out of a million, and you would be able to have 100x type of income compared to the 1x of the labor worker, and you will be able to trace back to your higher value per hours or PPT, high PPT, and you're gonna have a better work-life balance in your life. And I would like to end my presentation here. Hope everyone learned something from here.